The following moments may contain explicit language.
It's alive!
Welcome to Where the Weird Ones Are.
Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out.
Powerful figures in Hollywood, as well as powerful politicians who are in fact not human. They're reptiles, or they're lizards, or perhaps extraterrestrials.
I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch.
Go ahead and run! Run home and cry to mama!
Let's get weird.
Where the Weird Ones Go Production.
Side tangents and all, you know. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Where the Weird Ones Are. This is Conspiracy Tuesday number fucking 20. Holy shit. Anyway, so I have a panel of three lovely guests. You know, I always find it surprising that I'm able to get three people together. It's surprising to even get one person on the podcast, let alone three at once. So, but regardless, I will allow my guests to introduce themselves one at a time real quick. Let you all know who they are, what their shows are, and where you can find them real quick. And we will start with Kadra.
Hi, I'm Kadra from Perplexity, a mystery podcast, and I've been on Kevin's show before. I don't know how many episodes ago now, but you can find me wherever you get your podcasts, and it's a mystery podcast, all things mysterious.
Nice. I love it too. So, I heard you on Like Mother, Like Murder, a couple weeks ago. And I have to say, I gave Rachel shit, but I was just like fucking around with her. I was like, it's not perplexity that I had problem with saying. I was always like a mystery perplexity podcast. Like I would always mismatch like the what the fuck? How do you fucking say it?
The P word. Needless to say, you're perplexed overall.
Yeah, I was perplexed. It's mysterious. So like when I was just because the way Rachel said it was like fucking that I didn't know how to say perplexity, and I bitched at her. I didn't really bitch at her. I just was like, hey, you made me sound retarded. And she's like, okay, it's too early for you to be mad at me. And I was just like, I'm just fucking with you anyway. Like I care. But I just wanted to state that like the word itself wasn't an issue. It was the organize. Whatever the fuck, how the you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Listen, now you're making yourself sound ignorant, so slow yourself, okay?
I was just having this conversation the other day. I'm like, I'm really like I know a lot of words and stuff, but when I get the mic is live, when the mic is hot, I'm like, where'd the words go?
I get that. Yeah.
It's all good. Like I don't remember exactly what I said to Rachel, but I believe that my point was a lot of people have a hard time saying the name of my show. Like it is definitely not just Kevin. Or,
yeah.
Yeah, and I have, so in honor of Conspiracy Tuesday, I'll say this. I believe there is a conspiracy that no one can find my show because they can't spell it or say the name correctly. Because I cannot tell you how many times people are like people I know will be like, what's your show called? What's it again? And I'll have to like
Mandela effect.
Yes, like I'll literally have to like pull, they can't find it. I'll have to like spell it for them. And I'm like, no wonder like no one's listening. You know?
That's a lie. You have a ton of listeners.
It's grown, but it's still small.
You're doing amazing.
You are. I love it. I listen.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
I was going to say, you have at least 3 listeners in this chat room right now.
Well, love that. Yeah, you guys have been very supportive.
All right. Second guest that I'd love to introduce to you is my best friend, Alicia.
Hello. I am one half of the Twisted and Uncorked podcast, and I also just started a new little mini series called Truly Twisted. I've been on the show a couple of times. This is my second Conspiracy Tuesday, third. I don't know if you count the Halloween one as I've been on the show 4 times now, and I'm very blessed to be here with a lot of my friends. So thank you so much for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. And then the third and last but not least is Sierra.
Hello, I am the other half of Twisted and Uncorked podcast. We release our episodes on Tuesdays, so after you listen to this, go listen to ours everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Nice. Are you guys on YouTube?
She's better at this. I'm
We are
eating
on
a
YouTube,
cookie.
yeah.
Dope. You want to know what I just started doing? I just started having Riverside do my show notes, and it is so much better.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they did that.
Yeah, so if you pay for it, they'll AI will generate your show notes, and I'm like, wow,
Based off the episode.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, this is so much better. This saves me about 5 minutes. So
Wow.
You know what? 5 minutes adds up very quickly over time.
you know what, lady, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
And I definitely also forgot how to say words because I was so focused on my Easter cookie. So I apologize. Thank you to my better half for promoting our show.
It's fine.
So I feel like I'm worded out because I've been writing so much. So I got really excited after I published that first one the other day that I've been nonstop working on the second book, and I feel like I've just been doing too much. But anyways, because I also have an actual big thick novel that I've been working on for 5 years, and now that I wrote that, turn the comic book into a story. Now I want to continue writing that series, and I got caught up in that. But anyways,
I admire the shit out of that. I've been wanting to write something forever, so good for you for just doing it.
You should. Yeah. Well, I've always second grade was when I knew that I wanted to be a writer, and it took me this long.
I feel that so much. My second grade teacher had a huge impact on me when we read The Polar Express. So I get that.
Oh wow. Yeah,
read it, not watched it.
That movie is nightmare fuel.
Yes,
though.
it is.
Can I just
Yes,
say?
I was just about to say that.
I hate that movie, and
It's
I
the
know
worst
my fiance argues with me about it. He's like, "It's such a good movie. It's such a classic." I'm sorry, a man coming in the middle of the night and taking all of these children away and luring them with sweet treats, erasing their memories, is a fucking weirdo. Okay,
I never watched the movie all the way through because I can't even the previews creep me out. The facial thing, the
animation's weird.
Uncanny Valley of it.
Yeah.
Gross.
Oof, I don't like it.
I don't like the kid with the glasses. His voice is the same voice as of all the characters that I watched fucking when I was a kid. I don't know, he plays that weird bird, the voice of the weird bird in the Rooster movie where he's Elvis.
Oh yeah. What is it called? Something doodle. It's like cockadoodle, but it's not called.
It's Rockadoodle. Rockadoodle.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah. So he plays that voice, and he plays a bunch of other voices in other cartoons from way back when I was a kid. And then that Polar Express came out when I was a teenager, and I was like, this fucking guy is still playing children? What the fuck?
It adds to the creep level that Kendra mentioned.
Yeah. And just like the lady that plays Bart. She's been doing Bart for over 30 years.
And she did Phil and Lil on the Rugrats.
Yep, that too. Yeah. But speaking of erasing memory, what do you guys know about MK Ultra?
I did an episode on it.
Did you?
Love it.
Mm-hmm. That was my first conspiracy episode ever, so it's going to be a throwback.
Oh shit! I gotta go back in your catalog then and check that one out. So it really started the groundwork started in 45 when World War II ended. Operation Paperclip and stuff, they started bringing all these Nazi scientists over, and they started working on chemical and psychological warfare. And then by the start of 1950 was when Project Bluebird, they started Project Bluebird and then renamed it to Artichoke, which was the early efforts of the CIA investigating truth serum, hypnosis, and memory erasure. So that ties into the discussion of Polar Express, where he erases their memories and basically convinces them by hypnosis with sweet treats to jump on the train. So I just thought that was interesting that we were talking about that.
The master of the segue.
Yes. That is so interesting.
I'm going to be honest, everything I know about MK Ultra is from Kadra's episodes.
Nice. Nice.
I'm honored.
It is not. I get very scared diving down conspiracy rabbit holes.
So, Kevin, I hope I'm not jumping on you by saying this. MK Ultra is one of the most well-known, I would say very loosely, quote unquote, conspiracies, because there are thousands and thousands of documents that this did actually happen. It's not a conspiracy in that sense. We know it happened because the files were supposed to be shredded basically and destroyed, and they literally took these files and they took them to a warehouse or something, and they filed them in the wrong place, and people used the Freedom of Information Act to get somewhere between 30 to 40,000 documents about all these experiments. They logged everything that they did.
And that was 1994, wasn't it, when Bill Clinton had to apologize for it?
I don't remember that. It's been so long since I talked about it, but we know that it happened.
Right. The conspiracy is it still happening?
Sure.
Yeah. And also how much more happened than they're telling us. We have all of these documents. What documents don't we have?
Yeah.
Because surely we don't have all of it.
We never have all of it.
No.
Because I remember when I was doing the episode, they said that okay, we're not doing it anymore, guys, and they stopped, and I can't remember what year it was, but they said that the funding ended and the research ended in this specific year, but there's this whole conspiracy that they got caught and they said that they stopped, but they kept going.
I think it was 1995. I don't know why that year stands out of my brain.
1995
or 1997. Yeah.
MK Ultra ended in 1964.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that's when when they said
ended. Yeah,
ended, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Honestly, it reminded me so much of the
1995
TV
was
show.
Clinton's apology.
Okay, that makes sense.
What was he apologizing for? What does he have to do with anything?
He issues a formal apology for the unethical human experimentation of MK Ultra, because they were
as the president.
Yeah,
because he didn't do it, but
right,
on behalf of United States government. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So when they were using it, they were just putting it into people's drinks and shit like that without their knowledge. So I remember that.
For people who are listening that don't know what MK Ultra is, do you want to just give an explanation, Kevin?
Yeah, it's a mind control. That's what the MK stands for. So they were trying to figure out how to control people's minds, and that's what led them to this. Like I said a little bit ago, they were trying to use it for truth as a truth serum and memory erasure. So when you're on the drug, you forget what happened while you were on it, and you were more easily manipulated while you're on it. And they tied it into LSD, which moved into the free love time of the 60s and stuff like that. And mind control was a big thing for Dr. Jolly West. You guys know who Dr. Jolly West is? So he was the doctor that was prescribing he worked with Charles Manson on mental health and stuff and started prescribing him drugs. He also worked with Harvey Oswald and Jack Ruby.
Oh, right,
There's
right.
a really interesting episode on that on Medical Mysteries.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, instead of experimenting with our food and drink now, they've just tapped all of our phones to make us easily manipulated.
Not even the phone. They don't even have to tap it. It's media. It's
You know what's crazy is I get Palace of Versailles guided ads all
Because we
the time
talked
now
about
after that episode. So I'm just like,
I don't even mean them sending things that we're actually interested in. I mean, like, in general, media is so consumed that me and Alicia were just talking about this the other day. So much false information is just spreading so fast, rapidly. I actually wanted to, so I found a video this morning about a conspiracy, and I was like, holy shit, this is perfect. I found it this morning because we're going to talk about conspiracies tonight, and I'm so excited to tell them about it. And it's about Mountain Dew and this conspiracy. Have you guys heard the Mountain Dew conspiracy?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so it's that
she's doing
Mountain
that thing where she
Dew-
talks really fast, guys.
I'm sorry, that's just me. Okay, I was raised on Gilmore Girls. I don't know how to slow down.
No.
Go, girl.
It gets faster when you talk about conspiracies.
I love it. But so the conspiracy is that Mountain Dew, the founder of Mountain Dew, is the founder of Pepsi. The Pepsi guy worked with the CIA. Okay. And so Mountain Dew releases, again, this is all conspiracy. Don't read too far into this. Okay. They release certain flavored drinks that then coincide with big events. So in May of 2001, they released Code Red. In September of 2001, 9/11 happened. So then they're like, okay, they released a tropical one right when we had all those tropical storms. They released a star-spangled one when the bridge in Massachusetts went down, which is named after the person who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner. They released one called Pitch Black, when we had the media blackout. All of these things, they're like, oh my gosh, Mountain Dew is telling us something is happening. Okay, here's the thing. I fact-checked it. It's not even fucking true, guys. Timelines don't even match. Like, what are you talking about? Stop. Like, it's really cool, but it's fake.
I was gonna say, I could have sworn
I
Code
was so
Red came
into
out
it.
before I was in 7th grade.
No, the Code Red one is the only one that's true, actually.
Really?
Code Red did come out in May 2001.
Are you sure? It wasn't 99?
The first one. No, it was 2001. That was the first one I Googled because I was like, there's no way. And I was like, oh my God, it's true. So then I Googled all the other ones. All the other ones don't match.
Okay.
So they found
just
one
about to ask
thing.
you, what is Baja Blast
And
telling us?
well, Baja Blast isn't a limited time. So it's only ones that were supposed to be limited runs, even though Code Red stayed.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
I was just going to say.
Right.
Have y'all heard the joke that if Baja Blast was given to people in like the 1400s, like it's this whole joke of like, what would happen if you gave people in the 1400s Baja Blast? Like, would the world still be the same today? And I don't think it would be. I really don't. I think, first of all, we might not even exist. I think we would have all probably died.
Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That's what would have happened if they had Baja Blast in the 1400s.
Yeah, Gatorade
It would be in the water towers. Yeah.
It'd be like that episode of Parks and Rec where the Sweetums factory is giving everyone drinks and they're like so big. They're like, this is our small size.
Pretty much. I mean, give it to me in an IB. I'm all right with it.
Well, I mean,
Kevin,
go ahead.
Kevin, when you were looking at MK Ultra, did you come across Project Climax?
Yes. Yes. That's ridiculous. That guy is ridiculous. The other guy that he was partnered with that supposedly killed himself.
Oh.
What is Project Climax?
I was just about to ask.
I think that's what it's called, if my memory serves.
No,
but I'll
is.
double check. So it's when first of all, the MK Ultra experiments were part of the CIA's investigations into the mind control, like Kevin was saying. Project Climax, at this point, they had been doing MK Ultra for a couple years, and I really think they were just like seeing what would shake loose. Like they were just giving anybody and everybody LSD. And I don't just mean like how LSD is today. It was way more concentrated.
Oh, yeah.
And it was not regulated. So like this was very dangerous amounts of LSD, and they were giving it to people without their consent. Project Climax, they were having these sex workers come in and like lure these men, and they would put LSD in their beverages, and then they would just like see what would happen to them, and they would also allegedly have sex with them and see how they would respond being on the drugs.
Yep.
Goodness gracious.
Just lack of consent all around.
Yeah.
The CIA is ridiculously problematic. How are they still an organization?
Well, they're not.
I don't understand.
Technically, legally, they're not supposed to be. They're not allowed to operate on U.S. soil.
It's called Operation Midnight Climax.
Yeah. And it's Sydney
Sounds like the title of a porno.
Sydney Gottlieb is the mastermind of Midnight Climax.
Yes, I remember that asshole.
It sounds like a burlesque show.
It does, doesn't it? And so, like, he was also this Dr. Frank Olson was into all that stuff too, and he ended up getting like this extreme paranoia with all the stuff that they were doing with LSD and MK Ultra, that he supposedly threw himself off of a hotel balcony, but he was way too far to fucking have thrown himself, I guess, or something like that.
The window was like, I very vividly remember this. The window was like 6 feet off the ground. First of all, it wasn't like at a level where he would just like jump out, and it was like one of those hotels that had a really narrow window.
Yep.
And
there's not enough room for a running launch either.
Right. And the window wasn't like the window was open and he jumped out. The glass was shattered like he ran through it.
Yeah.
And the guy that was staying in the hotel room with him, I can't remember who it was, but he was super sus.
I think.
Like he.
So what actually happened is this guy had a conscience about it, was gonna tell, and so they killed him off.
Yeah, he was he was planning on whistleblowing.
We're not spreading false information.
In 1975, the government gave his family money.
Yes,
to keep him quiet.
Exactly.
Yeah, they gave the family compensation for his death. Yeah, no, his death was super suspicious.
I mean, how scary is it that you can come up with an idea or threaten to release certain information, and it's like you don't know who's coming after you, even.
Yeah.
Like, the guy that, Go ahead.
Can we all go back to keeping secret diaries? So, like, if you kill me, people are still gonna know. Okay.
When they have the little heart-shaped lock with the key that you can put in there, yes, absolutely.
In the event of my death, open the box and read the journal.
No, just put it on a podcast and everybody would know.
Yes. Did you guys ever see that? I never had one, but I always wanted one. The one where it was like only your voice would open the lock.
Yes, I had one.
My sister had one. My sister had one.
Those were so hard to use. Like, if you were having a rough day, like if you were crying and you just needed to write in your journal, you're like, it's like, I'm like, you know, like it was rough.
Oh my god, I did not have one of those, but mine was a Lizzie McGuire diary, and it had a little heart-shaped lock. So
oh my god, I was obsessed with her. I still am. I still am. Yeah.
Same.
Who am I kidding?
Same.
Who doesn't like Hillary Duff? Find me a person that does not like Hillary Duff.
Yeah.
They don't exist. And if they do, they're their own conspiracy.
I'm not even going to speak. So
that's America's Duff.
What? America stop. But the guy that figured that he could run cars on water once upon a time.
Oh,
Like they were
yeah.
doing testing and then all of a sudden he was dead. And it's like, oh no, that would never work.
Okay, we don't have to get political. We don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but can we talk about the conspiracy about the Pope dying right after he talked to JD Vance? Have y'all heard about this?
No, what the fuck?
Okay.
What happened?
I'm sorry.
A streamer Kevin watches, my other Kevin was just talking about this.
The Pope just died. They're looking for a new Pope. And I'm not kidding. Like, literally, he talked to JD Vance and like 10 minutes later, he died.
That's wild. I have an issue. I have an issue, first of all, with how much we are like to the Pope and the Vatican and shit.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
Sure.
But I mean, granted, of all the popes, he probably was the least problematic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
So allegedly, yeah. But
what do we know?
It's sad when anybody dies, but also like, why are we? It's fucking 2025. What are we doing? Why do we have a fucking pope? It's weird. It's weird.
I mean, it's like, so I had a friend in high school who was a foreign exchange student from Italy. And so, I mean, he's born and raised in that life. And I remember I was pretty active in church at that time. And he came to my church, which was like a non-denominational Christian church. And we're, like on the stage raising our hands, and there's these cool lights everywhere, and there's snacks, and my pastor has skinny jeans on, and he was so uncomfortable. He was like, what is happening? Because he's used to like everyone wears suits, nobody's talking, you're in this gorgeous ornate cathedral, and so like that's just their culture, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's obviously very different to us, but yeah, I mean, it's tradition, right?
Right.
It's the way it's
my
always
parents
been.
were just there, and the first thing
they also
that I asked them was if they burst into flames.
Yeah.
When I went inside.
Italy also spent most of its existence as a communist country.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't surprise me at all that they would have to shut the fuck up and dress a certain way in church.
Yeah.
I think every country, culture, everybody has a lot of secrets.
That's for sure.
Theirs is just the Vatican that's holding it all together.
The underground, yep. The underground. Rome never died, bro. It just changed hands.
But I would literally, no, I wouldn't kill anyone ever, but I would do a lot to see those buildings in person.
Me,
the art history nerd in me.
Same. So I was talking about this with David the other day about like dictators and the weird like things that they want to do. Like they try to collect all this like religious stuff, right? So we had like Hitler during the World War II he's basically trying to find the Holy Grail. And then Saddam Hussein was trying to find. I always want to put a fucking M on that H.
I do too.
But he was supposedly looking for like holy, like biblical artifacts too. And then you got Trump, who has a freaking mural to Tammuz in his penthouse.
I saw that.
So, hold on.
Are you talking about the gold, like the ornate gold statues in his office? Or you said penthouse. Is this something else?
It's the New York penthouse. Hold on. Let me.
Okay. There's an interview with him.
Music.
There's an interview with him. I think it's in the Oval Office of like these ornate, they're real gold statues. And I'm assuming this is different than what Kevin is talking about. But he's talking to this news anchor and he's like, we tried getting fake ones. We tried spray painting them gold and they didn't do the trick. So we got real gold. And he's just like bragging about them. And it's just so out of touch.
What is it?
I'll try to find the
Didn't
pictures
they
of
have
those.
like a gold toilet in the White House too at one point? It was
Who
like recently
knows?
sold for parts.
I know
like-
he had like a Diet Coke button, which is
Oh
kind of
yes,
cool.
that's what they.
So,
That's what they said.
That's for real. Like
like
there
a
was
Diet
a button.
Coke button to bring you Diet Coke.
Yes, every time he pushed the button, someone brought him a Diet Coke.
You know what? That's a great flex.
I
would
mean,
like one
kind
those.
of.
If I was a cult leader.
I would
Do I
pay
have to be a
someone
cult leader to
bring
have
me
one? I want
Diet
one.
Coke. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm sure they got paid for it.
Was it the
Can
Poseidon
you
statue?
imagine
He has
somebody's
so
like,
many.
what do you do for work?
bring
And you're like, I
Diet
bring
Coke
the
to
president Diet Coke when
So-
he pushes a button.
So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah,
He was bragging about these in his office, but anyway.
yeah. That
what
was
were you gonna say?
That was recent. But Tammuz is a sun god, Sumerian god. He was the god of fertility, shepherds, vegetation, and rebirth, which is weird. In the Babylonian era, but I was trying to fucking find the mural that he has in the penthouse.
You can't
Listen,
be a
I'll
god
be
of all of
honest.
the things, okay?
I'll be honest, those Babylonian time gods are way cooler than our god now, you know?
What do
We
you
were
mean?
talking about Babylon.
They're-
We were talking about Babylon the other day.
Listen, they're only cooler because they give you things that you want, and then there's sacrificing your children behind your back.
Did Babylon
What?
do that?
Yes.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
Most of all the
All
little
religion feels
pretty
like a
much
cult to me, so.
It does.
Yes, we had this conversation on Easter. The goddess Esther, I fucking can't say her fucking name. For the
Astara.
life. There we go. She was sacrificing children too. Like people sacrificed children to her, and that's why we got colored eggs. Is because they were using the blood of children to paint the eggs red.
I have a question. Do we okay, because I'm kind of going into satanic panic territory now. Do we know that this actually happened? Because I feel like I hear stories like this a lot of like they sacrificed their children for this god and like then I never actually.
Did the Bible actually happen?
Well, that's a whole other conversation.
That's the same conversation.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Well,
we don't know. Nobody knows.
But I mean, there's
It's
people
written
who
somewhere.
But there's people who argue to the ends of the earth that there is proof and that they do know.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, what the fuck do I know? So what I'm saying is, I feel like I hear that a lot with like different gods and goddesses. Like when we, I think it was Halloween. Yeah, when I did an episode on Hecate, the goddess of witches, she got so much hate, and there were all these people that were like, she's evil, she's demonic because she's the goddess of witches and she represents hell and people sacrificed all these things to her. And then when you like actually start reading about the mythology behind her, and I'm not even saying this is a real person, I feel like she got demonized like a lot.
Well, yeah, the Christianity demonized anything that didn't have to do with Big Daddy. But there was a lot of sacrificial things within the pagan and the Saxon religions and whatnot with fucking, I'm not saying that they sacrificed to every single god, and a lot of it was probably demonized because Christian is the only one true way, you know what I'm saying?
But even calling it demonized is putting Christian beliefs into it because Christians invented demons.
Yeah.
Christians invented hell. Christians invented Satan.
I thought Catholicism invented hell and demons.
That's Christianity.
Catholicism is
true. You're right.
The one God people.
You're
Before them was it starts with a Z, and I can't remember the name of it. It was the first place that had an underworld, but their underworld was just blackness. You either went to light or you went to darkness.
Yeah.
And there was no
I'll take the darkness,
evil
honestly.
place.
I don't want to be in a bright light room. Fuck that.
I mean, it was like, well, you'll go to this great place where there's a bunch of light, or you'll just die. Like just black out. You know what I mean? Lights out forever. kind of thing. Zoroastrianism, I think is what it was called. So
Whoa.
that was the first one that had something other than a quote unquote heaven. And then after them is when Catholicism and Christians and all of them made, that darkness, that's actually
That
hell.
checks
It's
out.
evil.
That
Yeah.
checks out, because I
It's shitty.
remember my grandparents telling me growing up, and they're like, "We don't know. It could just be darkness." And I remember that gave me so much anxiety as a kid. And I was like, "It's just gonna be darkness one day in my afterlife." Like, what?
I'm gonna tell you, I used to cry in bed at night because I was like, I would lay there and I'd close my eyes. I was like, this is what death is gonna be like, except I can't feel my body. And then I'd start crying.
That
Honestly
for me
terrifying.
Yeah, that sounds like a peaceful sleep, okay? I would love to not feel my body while I'm laying down with my eyes closed.
That's a separate problem.
I hurt, okay?
Sore. Tearing
that
apart
just
your
sounds
house.
like religious trauma to me. Like
Yeah,
when
true.
I was always so terrified of, if I have this thought about this boy, I'm going to go to hell. Or if I think a cuss word in my head, it's like a constant fear.
Yeah.
If I steal this Tiger Beat magazine from the Shoppers Drug Mart next to my house.
Yeah. I will say that I personally believe in a creator entity. I just don't think that it's everything that's in the Bible. Like, I think that there's a lot of things. Personally, I think that there's a lot of things that might be accurate or close to being accurate, but I do believe we all came from one entity, and I believe everything is created and is living. So, like, I'm more of like a nature-based, like, I'm happy in nature. I think that's where the church is outside. So
yeah,
that's my personal opinion and view on religion as a whole.
I like that take on it. And my yoga teacher, she said something super beautiful in class the other day about nature and it being like the only thing in existence that doesn't just live for itself. And humans are so innately selfish that it's just
Absolutely.
like we're destroying shit while nature is just out there giving and making new life. So I like that.
Yeah, I respect that.
I 100% agree with you, Kevin, except for the fact that I think that there's not a creator, but that we were all created like at the same time. You know what I mean? And Alicia, kind of contradictory to what you just said, I think that we live for nature the way nature lives for us. We're breathing the things they're breathing. We're breathing out what they're breathing in. They're breathing out what we're breathing in. Like, we have to coexist. Without nature, we don't exist.
That is
but without
true.
us, I mean, sure, they can exist, but they need some form of life to breathe the carbon dioxide to them. You know what I mean? So it might not be humans, but some sort of animal.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we're all connected in that way, like not by this God who is like, I'm going to place you here, but like, when you think of the Big Bang and it's like, oh, everything created at the same time. Yeah, we're all one. We are all the Big Bang. Like, somewhere deep down,
but the
we
Big
have
Bang
the
is just a
same
theory as well.
consciousness.
It's the same thing as the Bible.
Honestly,
Sadly,
all
all
of these things have their own conspiracies. Like,
you're not wrong.
I think that that's super interesting, and also Big Bang Theory, great show.
It's a great show.
Just throwing it out there.
Never watched it.
As somebody that threatened to, oh my God, Kevin, you need to get on it immediately. As somebody that recently threatened to sacrifice my Sheldon, I had a conspiracy topic to bring to the table in relation to what Sierra and I just covered on her episode 195.
Oh my God, if you guys haven't listened to that, please go.
And all of the things you need to.
Is this the alien one?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't listened to it yet, but Alicia, I saw your post and I was like, okay, duly fucking noted. We're listening to that really soon.
Shit's crazy.
I'm just here to put little teasers out into the world, but honestly, it begs the question, are we still allowed to like aliens after this?
Oh, wait, hold on real quick before you go into that. I had this really interesting thing to say about religion real quick.
Sorry.
I totally forgot because I had it in the back of my mind, and then somebody was talking and I was like, all right, I'll wait until they're done. But anyways, so did you know that Adam, the first man, was actually Native American?
That doesn't shock me at all.
So
somehow.
Adam in Hebrew translates to human or man, but it also translates to of the red earth. So of red, the only ethnicity that we have on earth of people that have a red complexion are Native Americans. Or you could look at it as a Martian, someone who came from the red earth.
Oh yeah, I've done enough said about that too.
That conspiracy I have heard, the idea that humans are not from Earth.
Yeah. There's
or that some of them are.
I do think about this a lot, is the fact that we can't survive out in nature without modern things. Like, we need clothes. We need to be able to make clothes to cover our skin, especially us whites, from the sun, to protect us from the sun. We need us to build ourselves a shelter and to create warmth, or to create some kind of cooling mechanism. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, there's not a whole lot of things out there there is, but there isn't. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can go in circles. Sometimes I'm like, oh, we can definitely survive. But at the same time, then there's other days I'm like, I want to be able to survive.
You should read the book called The Nature Fix. It is my all-time favorite book. My degree is actually in outdoor recreation. And that was one of our assigned readings, and it became like my Bible. It is the best freaking book ever, and it tells you all about how literally nature changes the chemicals in your brain. Like it literally helps you survive and not be depressed and not have anxiety and all these other things. And nobody goes outside anymore because you're scared.
Touch grass.
Yeah.
Yes,
when
that
you're
is
having
so
a bad
serious.
day means something.
That is so serious.
Dude, to that point, Alicia, is so I've been grounding myself a lot in the past couple of years, especially after my ex. I went through this terrible breakup, blah, 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 blah. And I was trying to connect with myself and find myself, and I started grounding. I started putting my feet in the earth more often, as much as possible.
That's
and
beautiful.
Just had my daughter, right? And she'll be like freaking out. We can't figure out what's wrong with her. All last summer, I would just go out, sit down, lay in the grass, and put her down on the ground next to me, and she would just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And we would just lay there. We would lay there and stare at the sky, and she wouldn't say shit. She'd just be like, "Oh, well, we're outside in the grass."
You know what? That's actually beautiful, and just goes to show you what people need. That's the first thing I do when I'm having a bad day. I go and stand out in this grass with my bare feet.
Same.
My cousin and I used to take barefoot hikes as kids, and people are like, "That's weird behavior." I don't think my little dainty toes could do that now, but
my kids, like, when I go on nature walks with my kids, they ask me, "Am I allowed to take my shoes off?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, like, watch where you step. I don't need a stick going through the bottom of your foot, but
that's all right.
Yeah,
that's what Band-Aids are for.
They design.
I'm prepared for that.
Yeah, they design the shoes to disconnect us from the earth.
They. Yeah. Who are they?
Who are they?
I'm going to be honest, 99% of the time it's men designing that stuff.
True.
So, like, have you seen women's pants?
Yeah, why the fuck? Why? Why do we not have
pockets? The pockets, though. It's rude, honestly.
It's so rude. They even sew like
Kevin's like,
it
tell me
looks
more.
like a pocket. It looks like it, but it's not. Why?
But it can hold half your cell phone.
Listen, you guys were created with a pocket. Shh.
Kevin.
You want us to carry stuff in our vagina?
He's just jealous he doesn't have one, because he would carry stuff in his vagina.
I definitely would. You
know what? If you were to switch men and women for a day, like their bodies,
I would be so confused.
I don't even want to know.
I would be so confused.
I mean,
which hole does what?
Me too, honestly.
Honestly, most adult men don't know which hole does what.
That's correct. That is correct. I vividly remember being at a high school or maybe early college party, and there was this guy there who was always bragging about, oh, I had sex with this girl. Blah, blah, blah. He was super popular. And we were having this whole discussion about vaginas. Somehow that came up. He did not know that women had 3 holes. He thought that we just had a poop hole and a vagina. He had no idea we had a pee hole. And then he was talking about
That's like really
how
little.
yeah, and he didn't have a condom one time, so he was saying that he used a Ziploc bag.
Ew, gross. That had to hurt.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Why are you bragging about that? I'm just like, I thank you for permanently altering my mind and leaving this forever burned in my brain.
Yeah.
And also,
wow.
how is natural selection not taken him out yet?
Maybe it has. I haven't talked to him since
I was gonna-
like high school.
That sounds like a freaking made up story that he was just like saying
Oh,
shit
yeah.
just
He
to
didn't
say
actually
shit.
do that.
Yeah.
I mean, what girl, woman would let
I
a plastic Ziploc bag in? You know?
Well,
I just feel like the chafing on that for her and for him
Yeah.
would be
Not
terrible.
good. Not a good
keep
experience
in
all
mind,
around.
keep in mind, I'm in Texas.
That's
and
what I was
there
about
is
to say.
a
what's the
severe-
sex ed like?
There is a severe deficit when it
Yeah.
comes to sex ed. And
Oh,
he did have a
no.
girlfriend at the time, and I feel like she was also talking about that
Yeah.
happening.
Good
So,
Oh,
grief.
Yeah.
Yikes, dude.
And I bet
Well-
she grew up to be one of those kinds of people that are like, sex isn't supposed to feel good for women.
yikes.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
No. Oh man. This is
Actually, it
taking a
feels
dark
better
turn.
for women. It's supposed to feel better for women.
Really?
Right?
Yeah,
Jesus.
Oh, because of the nerve endings?
the
Multiple
orgasm
orgasms?
yeah, the orgasms for women are more intense than they are for men.
Mm-hmm.
So
Men are
That's
just designed to procreate. Let's face it. No offense, Kevin.
Uh-oh.
Dude, y'all sperm
You've
lasts till you're like
procreated well.
75.
Yeah,
What
they're
is that
designed to
about?
procreate. Designed to procreate.
We start losing eggs in our 30s.
I know. I
We're
only
designed
have
to
weird eggs left.
provide and to procreate. That's it.
Or as Sierra pointed out, that all of my eggs are weird already because I'm weird.
You are weird. I'm weird.
Yeah.
We're
If
all
you're not weird, you're weird.
Yeah. So what were you gonna say? I'm sorry. We ended up going on this other
it's
thing.
okay. I was just gonna say, are we allowed
it's-
to like aliens?
It's the same conversation because in
really
our
is.
episode, we talked about how aliens are raping humans.
They really are.
They really are.
And I hope they not doing it to me and erasing my mind with
We're
MK
not
Ultra.
sure that Sierra was not abducted.
Yeah, there's a
as child.
possibility
We're
I've
still
been
not sure.
abducted. And because aliens can I mean, erase your mind. Is the CIA just aliens? Like, what is happening?
That's the
Ooh.
question I had, like with the Betty and Barney Hill thing. Like, I wonder if because of the times, like they were so traumatized that they were just like real people fucking them up, and you know what I mean. And they are seeing them as aliens, or they were dressed up or something. I don't fucking know, but that's like a thought that I've had.
For the Where the Weird Ones Are listeners, Sierra just covered an episode on our episode 195 about all of this, and she thoroughly traumatized me for an hour and a half.
I thoroughly traumatized myself. It's called the event was called the Allagash abductions, and I read an entire
Very
300
close to where you are, Kevin.
Yes,
340
northern
page
Maine.
book.
There's 4 guys.
Yeah.
2 of them were twins.
Yes, and,
The
one of the
random
twins
guy that
was
came
raped.
out of the bushes.
Oh my god, that is the best part. You gotta listen to the episode for that. But
at the end,
I know all
we give
about
you a
this
little-
story. I know
a
all
little
about
fun
it.
awesome.
little tidbit at the end.
but so like when these guys are being hypnotized, hypnosis is a whole nother thing. I don't know if I believe in hypnosis. I don't know if it's ethical. It's mentioned in the book as the guy who's doing it is like, I don't know if what I'm doing right now is ethical because this is hurting them. But anyways, the guys are being hypnotized and they're remembering, under hypnosis, because they didn't remember any of this before. They're remembering the aliens saying things like, at one point I quote a part where the guy is getting something stuck up his ass. literally. Okay, and he's like, ow, it hurts, oh my god. And then he's like, wait, no, it doesn't hurt. The alien is telling me it's not so bad, and I feel like it's not so bad. So, like, they're literally telling him how to feel. And it's, after re-listening to it, I'm like, aliens are super gaslighting us, okay? But also, it's like mind control, you know?
Yeah.
That's also the problem with hypnosis and with like recovered memories. Is that basically the American Psychiatric Association has rejected a lot of those studies because they're unethical in the sense that there's a chance that you are influencing that person's memories and responses. Kind of like, this is not the best analogy, but kind of like when police elicit false confessions.
Right.
You're kind of feeding information and getting what you want to hear. And then there's no way to really know if that's what actually happened to the person. There's also a lot of studies from Satanic Panic about people who have trauma from false memories that were implanted because of these social workers that were sitting in with these kids and saying, tell me where the daycare worker touched you. And, and then they sacrificed a dog in front of you and blah, blah, blah. And they're like adults now. And they're like, did that happen? And, you know, it didn't. They do investigations.
There was a whole case on that. I forget what happened, but it was somebody that was legitimately running a daycare. Horrible things were happening.
In the military?
And they had like an opposite study behind it where they like convinced them that it didn't. It was like the opposite of what you're saying, but it was, I remember reading about it in university and it was horrifying. Also part of what spiked my interest in true crime, but separate problem.
Wow.
Hypnosis is a whole nother kind of mind control.
That sounds like a military base
We've come
thing.
full circle from MK Ultra.
a United States military base. I can't freaking remember. They had a daycare on it where they were doing shit to the kids, and then they convinced the kids that it wasn't
was
happening.
a military case. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they got away with it for a long time, I guess, supposedly, until they were found out. But I mean, it's just like what makes me think of. I wonder if they use that shit to blackmail these Hollywood celebrities and politicians, like with the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're just aliens putting our fingers up your butt. But really it's a dude standing behind you. And
oh god, I can't decide what's worse, a random dude or aliens.
It's definitely the aliens. I promise it's the aliens. Only because, listen, in this book, every single one of those men described them as feeling like bugs crawling on them. That's fucking disgusting.
Gross.
I don't need to relive that. I don't need to relive it. Honestly,
come on,
for
man.
you guys and your listeners, Kevin, all you're going to listen to is Sierra telling me horrible things and me.
It's a scary episode.
I tried to leave several times. I was like, I don't think I need to be here. I could just leave you with the microphone.
Yeah, some episodes that aren't about like crazy murder I let my kids listen to. This one wasn't a crazy murder, and I was like, this one's way too scary. Way too scary.
Alicia couldn't handle this, therefore you can.
Cannot.
Actually, you know what? I would argue that your daughter is much braver than I am. But...
That's funny.
Oh man,
that's funny. I was looking at before we did this today. Today I was looking at popular conspiracy theories, and one of them was the Denver airport.
Yeah.
And they have like a bunch of like alien and reptilian artwork and stuff like that. But there is.
Was this what we were talking to Em and Christine about?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Blucifer? Yes.
Blucifer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times. I've seen Blucifer.
I want to go because I want to see it for myself.
Alicia will be going.
Yes.
My connecting flight to come see you, Kadra, is
yeah.
Yay. And you know what? I'm going to be there because I decided I'm going to go to CrimeCon this year too. So I'll get to see Blucifer again, my boy.
I was going to go to CrimeCon, and that's what I was going to fly into the Denver airport to so that I could specifically, like, I was going to knock out two birds with one stone because I cover true crime on Weird Java in the Morning. So I was just gonna go to CrimeCon and to be able to see like a bunch of people that I know, like Rachel and Heather and other people.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I can look at conspiracy stuff while I'm going to true crime. And then the true crime, the CrimeCon tickets are like $400, and I was like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, the only
they are
reason
very expensive.
the only reason I'm going is because Jules is on Creator Row, and so she had to change, like she got a free ticket basically.
Yeah.
And
So
she
she
had
sold her
bought
ticket.
one. Yeah, and she sold it for like half price. Like it was like $200.
Yeah.
So I took it.
She's a great
Honestly,
fucking
you're a
person,
smart
too.
woman for doing that.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's awesome. I'm
I
excited.
don't know if the Denver airport is a weird one for me, because for the longest time I was like, that's just crazy. Like, it's definitely sus. Okay.
Yeah.
But then recently they started leaning into it. And so now everything in there feels fake.
Yeah.
Because they want you to think, oh yeah, we have underground tunnels. Look over there. There they are. And now I'm like, well, that's clearly not them if that's where you want me to look. But where are they for real? Like, everything feels fake now.
See, am I just aloof? Because I've been to this airport so many times, and I listened to a Denver airport episode, like on another podcast, went to this airport, and the way I noticed nothing. Like,
Well,
I
when
saw
you're in an
Lucifer,
airport,
but that's
it's like
it.
high stress. You're trying to get to where you're going, right?
Yeah, but I was like looking for it, you know?
It's the paintings
there's
on the
a
walls
whole wing.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. Okay, I will say the Denver airport is one of the biggest airports in the world. It is
Yeah.
massive.
So you need to fly in early, Kadra, and make sure that you report back.
I'll go hunting. Yeah, isn't the whole conspiracy that there's a bunch of tunnels underneath the airport that they're using for sus activities?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
there's
so
like secret clues in the artwork.
I don't remember what it was. Something happened. Something serious had happened at one point when Barack Obama was president. And whenever that thing happened, I can't remember what it was, he happened to be at the Denver airport. And everyone was like, he's going to the underground, like, bunker. Like, that's where he's hiding out. That's where the president goes that's where the elite go when the thing that destroys the world happens, or whatever the fuck it was.
Interesting.
I remember seeing, like, clips of Barack Obama at the Denver airport. Oh my god. But I don't
Apparently
remember
Los
what it was.
Angeles has a whole elite underground tunnel
Listen,
system as
Listen,
well.
there's
I have
underground
seen-
tunnels connecting
Yeah.
every single state together.
I have seen the imagery, and it's maybe fake, I don't know, of the tunnels that go from, like, New York to California.
Yes,
It's
I've seen this.
terrifying.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's creepy.
And then
Yeah.
they'll put it an overlay, a map of where most people go missing, a map of the underground tunnels, and it's like they go missing in the tunnels.
Yes.
Oh, well, they do that with Bigfoot too, Sierra. Have you seen that? They're like, people missing? Bigfoot sightings. Coincidence? I think not.
I mean, who knows?
It's just like the UFO,
Prove it.
the people with the that want to call Bigfoot paranormal. They see the UFOs or the glowing balls, and then they're like, "Oh, there's an orb." Also, at the same time as Bigfoot. What does that
They're
mean?
all interdimensional
There
beings.
Oh yeah, we are
actually-
interdimensional beings. We just can't tap into that because we've been shut off. We only use 5% of our fucking brains.
It's so true.
There
imagine
are
what we could do?
tunnels. There are actually tunnels,
Yes.
though, at the Denver airport, but apparently they're like kind of like the Paris catacombs thing. Apparently they're like way more extensive, and there's like hidden areas, and apparently
And filled
like
with bones.
maybe. What do I
They could be.
know?
God.
So
Filled with the carcasses that the reptilians
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
into.
it's all
know?
of the children that Hillary Clinton ate in Pizzagate.
Exactly.
Oh man, this is it's a conspiracy sandwich, guys. Oh.
Everyone listening is like, I ran out of red string like 30 minutes ago.
I will
No,
say,
they're still Googling the third thing we talked about.
I will say that
What was that again?
my buddy Drew had to escort a politician to the Denver airport, and they went underground into what looked like a railroad track underground
Oh.
underneath
Well, listen.
underneath the Denver airport.
When you arrive at the Atlanta airport, you're underground.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, that's a separate problem.
Poor Alicia, when she got to the Atlanta airport to see me, her phone wasn't working. They literally, you go underground and then come back out.
Yeah, that airport is also humongous.
Her
airport
phone wasn't
Where
working.
are we getting Atlanta from?
I'm just saying that there's underground tunnels.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
In like all of the airports.
Yeah.
Because of, we've seen it. Alicia was underground.
Yes.
And I almost called the police because I was scared she was trafficked. Okay. Her phone wasn't working. The message was playing on the intercom. If you think you've witnessed the trafficking, whatever, then call 9. And I was like, oh no, I can't find Alicia. She's supposed to be. Her plane says it's here. She's not answering her phone. She was trafficked.
I literally got lost in the tunnels.
I literally messaged her husband and was like, don't freak out, but something's wrong.
And
then she popped up from
conversation that starts with "Don't freak out."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if
tunnels
you
are in
enter these
airports
tunnels,
in general.
Use caution.
Yeah.
Just don't go, because they will die.
I mean, Atlanta itself
Probably.
is a very cool city, so it was definitely, and I got to see Sierra, so it was worth going.
Yeah.
But the initial trauma of not knowing how to get out is the separate problem. So.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you 110%. 110%. But
I'm not meant to be a mole person. Just keep me above ground. Keep me on the grass.
Where the sun
is good for you.
The sun, yes. The sun and the grass and the trees and the birds and the bees. Yeah, it's all good for you.
We've really covered all of that on this episode.
Technically, yeah. Yeah.
Truly.
But Sierra has to go, so
wait, before I go, I want to mention the thing that I brought up about Barack Obama, because again, I don't like fake news being spread around. Barack Obama in 2008 flew to the Denver airport at the same time as that meteor was passing over Earth that everybody was scared about.
Oh, that reminds me.
He's going to hide.
That reminds me.
Yes.
A meteor hit Earth in 2020 right before the lockdowns. And we never heard about it because we were being fucking locked down. And meteors are on their way for 2029.
Meteors hit Earth like every 1 to 3 years.
Yeah, but like this one was catastrophic and killed a bunch of people, and we haven't heard about it. Supposedly, I don't know. Obviously, I'm just saying.
You know what? I'd kind of believe
allegedly.
I just did an episode on the Tunguska event, and so I learned a lot about meteors and asteroids and comets, and it was very existential and scary, and that's how I learned how often meteors actually hit Earth.
Yeah.
And what NASA, like one of the groups in NASA, studies near-Earth objects, and they like use technology to help them not hit Earth, basically.
Yeah, we just send oil drillers up there to freaking break them open.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
I have a question.
I'm fucking kidding. It's the fucking the movie with Bruce Willis I just was talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gullible as fuck.
I am too. My dad's in that movie, so you
Does anyone know? Does anyone know what flat earthers think about meteors?
Oh,
I do not. I do.
I'm curious.
I've talked about flat Earth extensively, and I don't know this.
Yeah, I don't know either. But,
I don't either, but I want to know. Like, how do you explain that one?
Yeah,
okay?
I was gonna say,
how do you explain that one?
I thought you had an
there's
answer.
a flaw.
No, I want to know. Listeners, if you are a flat earther, please let us know.
Well,
or a hollow earther.
Meteors.
There's
oh my
hollow
god,
earthers
I hate hollow
too.
earth even worse.
Nazi
yeah, you know what?
propaganda.
Don't.
Nazi
if you're a hollow
propaganda.
earther, if you're a hollow earther, don't message me. Never mind. I don't want to talk to you.
There's no hope if you're a hollow earther.
Pretty much.
We're just in a glass, and so they sprinkle rainbow sprinkles into the glass, and those are meteors.
You know
that they're sprinkling glitter.
My whole thing with flat Earth is why? Like, okay, first of all, let's say the Earth is flat. Who the fuck cares? Why does that matter? Why, like, even if people were lying and the Earth was actually flat, there is so many other things going on
to be worried about. Yeah.
Why do you care? You know what I mean?
Maybe
That's
they're
what I've
part
never
of what's
understood.
distracting us from the other shit going on, like COVID.
Well, that's always an argument. It's a distraction. We're putting this in the media because it's a distraction. Blah blah blah. A distraction from what?
From the mind control that is happening to us every single day.
Control. You're right. Full circle again.
True. It's upsetting.
It is. It is.
It's an ice wall, and there's more land on the other side of it.
My only thing is, like, what's the end goal? Like, okay, I get it. You're controlling all of our minds. To do what?
The fear.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Feeding
but why?
off the fear.
Why do they want me to be scared?
I know, like,
energy.
early on, when they were doing truth serum experiments, the goal was to build super soldiers for the war.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, because, like, so the Cold War was going on, and there was a lot of fear that the United States was going to lose power. They wanted to remain a superpower. So there was a lot of fear with the Cold War, and, you know, we have to have these big, powerful soldiers. If you guys have watched Stranger Things, they touch on this quite a bit. Truth serum, mind controls. So to date, allegedly, from what we know, there has never been an actual truth serum that has worked. But there's conspiracies that they have come out with things like that. But that's why MK Ultra happened, is because they were trying to create a truth serum, a super serum, and they thought it would work better if people didn't know that they were taking it.
Yeah.
Because they were easier to be controlled, basically.
Okay. Yep. I can understand that. I don't understand 2025's reason for all of the, I don't know.
Well, I mean, so there's a lot more of us than there are of the government, right? So, like, if we're
but what does the government want? What do they want?
To control and have power and money, and, like, for us to not ask questions.
I'm not a kind of person who doesn't. I'm not a kind of person who, like, gets off on having power. I guess I don't get it. Like,
yeah,
power.
Have you had it? Have you had power?
I mean, over what? My
That's
life,
so true.
My children.
You know what? That is so true.
For what?
Okay, I'm gonna, like, make fun of Katy Perry for a second because she totally deserves it.
She does.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
We gotta talk about that whole thing. But
I'm with Wendy's. I stand with Wendy's. Send her back.
Yes. Once upon a time, Katy Perry, in my opinion, was a good person. And then she got power and she got fame and it all went to her head. And now she sucks and she's so out of touch. And I think that's a perfect example of, like,
Kanye.
What happens. Or, like, Ruby Frankie, when she got really popular on YouTube, what happens to her? She turned freaking psycho.
I think she was always kind of psycho.
I was going to say maybe.
Like brewing beneath the surface.
Maybe it was in her all along, but, like, the abuse got really, really bad, and she got even colder and crazier when she got really popular on the internet. So I think power and money really define your inner person. Like, if you want to know if somebody's a good person, give them a position of power and give them, like, $1 million.
Yep.
Yeah,
just
I like
see
it.
what they do with it.
Just a small loan.
I like it. Alicia, did you watch the episode of Ghosts where they gave Flower money?
No, not yet.
Oh.
I don't think so. I think I have no, it's okay. It's a great TV show.
Sorry, really quick. The Ghost Adventures guy who his wife tried to get him killed.
Oh, Aaron.
Wait. So the hit man, quote unquote, who was really a con guy because he was in jail. My friend went to high school with him.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy? So she had sent me a TikTok, like, maybe a couple months ago before this story broke. And she was like, I went to high school with this guy. Isn't this crazy? Do you guys know why he's in jail?
Why?
He murdered his family. Because he became obsessed with a porn star online, and he was, like, paying to do, like, these, like, sex chats and, like, webcam things with her. And so he started stealing their credit cards and money to, like, because he lived with them, to pay for all of that. And then, like, they told him to stop because, like, he was racking up thousands and thousands of dollars of debt. And he just went crazy and, like, wouldn't listen to them, and he killed them.
Jesus.
That's why
that
he's in
took a
jail.
turn I wasn't ready for. I mean, it makes sense now why he was
Yeah.
willing to kill Aaron. I mean,
Those are three things of how you control someone is give them money, power, or sex.
And take away their basic needs. That's how cults work too.
Yeah.
Yeah, take away their food, their clothes,
Yeah.
their identity.
speaking of flour,
Oh, jeez.
jeez Louise.
Well, this is fun.
Anywho,
This has actually been a very fun episode, and thank you so much, Kevin, for having us on.
well, I
Yes.
enjoyed the laughing. That's for sure. Absolutely.
I'm going to be thinking about this for a week.
I mean, honestly, get a bunch of
Probably.
weirdos in the same chat together, and it's a good time always.
It is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we've learned anything, it's that mind control is scary and Katy Perry sucks.
Yes. And she never left the atmosphere, by the way. So
No, but
Dude.
Kevin, she's an astronaut.
no, she's not.
She kissed the ground
When
when she came
11
back.
fucking minutes.
She
if it even happened. 11 minutes.
Guys, she sang a song in space, but she didn't want to sing one of her songs because she didn't want to make it about her.
Oh, fuck off.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, I
That's-
will
Whose
say,
song
That's-
did she steal? Okay.
Oh,
to
that's a good
sing.
question. I don't know what song she sang,
Her-
but
I
I just
think
heard
it
she
was
didn't
Miley
sing
Cyrus.
hers.
Her and her husband make fake apples now
what? Why?
because
Miley Cyrus's brother went like off on her for stealing Miley Cyrus's look or something.
whoa, what?
Guys, she sang "What a Wonderful World."
Fuck off. Get out of here. Get
Is this
out of
real
here.
life?
I can't make this up.
Okay, I will say
Louis
I
Armstrong?
forget the woman's name, but she was originally supposed to be a NASA astronaut, and she was sexually assaulted.
Oh shit.
And they said that if she spoke out about it, that they wouldn't let her on one of the space stations
What
that she
the
was supposed to be a
fuck?
part of. So she opted not to go because she's like, I'm not gonna stand behind this. So one of the women that were on the crew with Katy Perry, that's the reason that she got to go, is they were like trying to give her like a
And there's
second
people-
shot at it,
and there's
like,
people in the
support her. So I
media.
will say that was a cool thing, but
There's people
What
in the
was
media who
Katy
were like,
Perry's
this is female empowerment. This is such an example of female empowerment. And then you have people who have been sexually assaulted that are supposed to go and can't speak out about what happened to them.
yeah.
Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Also, that's not female empowerment. Sending rich, entitled people into space is not female empowerment.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
I agree.
I just want to state this
Um,
real quick too while we're on this same subject. So I'm trying to write my fucking second book, right? And I use AI for the images. And there's
Oh,
a
that's cool.
I have an African character who's this big, strong, muscular woman, and I asked AI to create an image of her, and it said they
Oh, good
don't
lord.
create images of powerful black women.
What?
That's what it said to me.
Is that a joke?
I'm not even fucking kidding.
That's
Please
the
record.
worst thing.
Please do it again and record it.
I will fucking.
Yeah, that is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
I think I
That's
want to say that it's
weird.
because she's supposed to be half naked because she's in like tribalistic garments. Maybe that's why.
So ask AI to do the same thing, but with her clothed, and see what happens.
Ask AI to do the same thing, but with a man, and see what happens.
I did ask.
Yeah.
I did ask it to put a dress on her, and it still wouldn't do it.
Weird.
So
Huh.
I don't
what
know.
AI are you using?
Chat GBT.
Okay.
Oh
Gosh,
man,
dang.
well, ChatGPT
Okay,
tried to
okay.
take my legs away. So
Before we
have a
leave,
separate problem there.
How do you use ChatGPT? You just Google it?
Yeah, it's an app.
It's an app. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I've been
that's-
like, why can't I
I-
fucking do it?
Me
I've
and
never
Sierra are
used
the same person.
ChatGPT until the whole action figure thing came out, and
Yeah.
then I was like, okay, I have to download it
That's-
just to
Do you have
make
to pay
action
for it?
figures of it.
No.
No, but you have limited use of like how many things you can do
Yeah.
for free,
A
right?
day.
Yeah. So
Yeah, per day.
So
So when I
I
was
pay
super
for it.
sick, that's what I did in bed all day. Was
I pay
made AI action
Yeah.
figures.
I pay for it because I try to get images for my story, and
Yeah.
I've had to
But that makes
regenerate so
sense.
many
Yeah.
fucking times.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're writing a graphic novel with it. It makes sense. Yeah.
That's really cool, though.
I think that that's a very good use of it.
Yeah.
Some people get real lazy with ChatGPT, so
Yeah,
that's
and
my
then-
issue.
and I got it to create my new logo. So
I got on Reddit and on the Explain It Like I'm 5 subreddit, and I was like, someone please explain to me how to use ChatGPT. And it like told me how ChatGPT works. I'm like, no, like, where is it? I don't know how to find it. Like, I'm so confused.
oh, AI is gonna kill us.
It really is. It really is.
Because we're not going to be able to see it.
Exactly. We don't know where it is. Where do you find it? Oh man.
Oh my
All
God,
right,
I love it.
everybody. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all three of you. I will let you guys run through your stuff one more time real quick. Sierra, we'll start with you.
I am one half of Twisted and Uncorked, and our episodes are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts on Tuesdays. And my other half is...
Same thing. And you
Alicia.
can find my second show on Thursdays as well. So you get a full week of goodness over here.
Say the name of your show again, Alicia.
Truly Twisted. Sorry.
And
It's a really good show.
I was just gonna say that too.
It's a little spin-off of Twisted and Uncorked, but a little more somber. So
I like
if
it. You do a good
the
job.
silly atmosphere of me and Sierra and conspiracies and ghosts and all things creepy, you go there. And if you want, some victim-focused stuff, you come. Well, you get it on both sides, but you know what I mean.
All right. Well,
sorry.
You better be sorry. Jeez, I was just about to
Kadra's
put the
dying.
spotlight on you.
So I'm Kadra, and I am the only host of Perplexity, a mystery podcast.
And
you
she
can get
does an
me
amazing
anywhere. Thank you. Anywhere podcasts are available. So however you're listening to this, you can listen to me. But remember, please, it is Perplexity, a mystery podcast. I repeat, Perplexity, a mystery podcast. And I'm on YouTube as well.
Nice. All right, everybody, that's the show. Thank you for dropping in. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, leave a rating and review. Those are the free ways to help this show grow. If you're interested in helping, that is.
In your review, tell us your favorite conspiracy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And tell us if you like Katy Perry or not.
I haven't met anybody who does, to be honest with you, in my real life.
It's like 5 stars
I used
for
to.
Kevin, but
I used to. I can't support her anymore.
If your podcatcher doesn't allow you to leave a review, you can leave one on the website where the weird ones are podcast.com. That is also where you can get merch, and you can get hot sauce, and you can get coffee, and you can get supplements, and also you can check out some of my short stories that I wrote on my blog. Other than that, you know the drill. Question everything and stay weird.
Yeah.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.
Because in the end, none of us have very long on this earth. Life is fleeting. And if you're ever distressed, cast your eyes to the summer sky. When the stars are strung across the velvety night, and when a shooting star streaks through the blackness, turning night into day, make a wish.